What is up, folks? That music means it's Friday. Well, if you're watching us live, it's Friday. It's the Drum Talk TV News Desk Report. I'm Dan Shinder from Drum Talk TV, coincidentally. And with me today is first-time offender, our wonderful media university intern, Shylee Graff. How are you, Shylee?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Excited to be doing this with you for the very first time. You've never done this on camera before, have you?
No, I haven't. First time. So I'm really excited.
Awesome. Awesome. Folks, we got all kinds of news. This day in music history, we got Drum Talk TV news, and we always start with, of course, any passings that have happened recently. The first one, Colin Jerwood, frontman of English punk rock band Conflict, passed away at a very young age at 63 on Monday. That was June 2nd. He had been sick for a short time before passing. Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, it's always sad to hear things like that. Marcy Jones, the lead singer of Marcy and the Cookies, passed away on Friday, May 31st at the age of 79. She had actually just revealed her leukemia diagnosis a few days before her passing.
Wow. I had no idea that's how old she was either. Very interesting. Now we're going to move to this day in music. This day being, what is the date? It's June 6th. Yes. June 6th. This day in music of every June 6th that we're going to mention in 2005, John Bonham was voted #1 Classic Rock Magazine's 50th greatest drummers in rock. The magazine noted that Moby Dick was his defining moment. And I'd like to add that while Moby Dick on the original studio version release of Led Zeppelin 2 was amazing, every other live version was 3, 4, 5 times as long and so amazing. And we have some other Led Zeppelin news we'll get to, but I was telling Shylee before we went live that me seeing Led Zeppelin in person was the equivalent of a lot of other people a little older than me seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, who then went on to be musicians. I was already a drummer when I saw Led Zeppelin, but it made me want to be a professional drummer as opposed to becoming an oceanographer. Like, yeah, I don't think I want to swim with sharks. I think I want to party and play gigs. So that was my moment seeing Led Zeppelin in 77.
That's awesome. In 1987, Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody hit #1 in the UK. It was her second hit to do that. And the track topped charts in dozens of other countries. And the song actually won her Best Female Vocal Pop Performance at the Grammys in 1988.
Wow.
And, you know, that's actually probably my favorite Whitney Houston song is I Want to Dance with Somebody because it's just so iconic. I jam out to it every time I hear it come on.
That's my second favorite. Well, second favorite song. This is my favorite Whitney Houston song. My second favorite song I've ever heard Whitney sing. My first favorite is when she sung the national anthem at, I don't recall which Super Bowl it was, the best Super Bowl national singing of our national anthem at any time ever. It was just tears. But yeah, that's a great song. No wonder it did so well, right?
Yeah.
And then in 1982, several artists like Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, Stevie Wonder, Stevie Nicks, and more appeared at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California for the Peace Sunday We Have a Dream Anticular concert. That's a huge venue. I've seen one concert there, and it's a football stadium, the world famous Rose Bowl. I saw Pink Floyd there for the Division Bell tour. They had a 10-story tall stage arch with the giant, enormous video screen. The setup was just incredible. What's the largest venue you've ever seen a show at, Shylee?
Oh, that's a great question. I am actually not sure. The two concerts that I went to actually most recently, Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I go to college in Wisconsin. So I was, there. I saw Fall Out Boy last year. And then I also was at the Mann Center in Philadelphia in October. And so both pretty big venues.
Yeah, those are good sized arenas.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. From 1969, On this day, Elton John released his debut album, Empty Sky, in the UK. This track, Skyline Pigeon, is the best known song on the album, and it's the only one from the album that Elton John still plays live, although he doesn't do it very frequently.
Interesting.
The album was actually later released in the US in 1975.
That's interesting that it was released so much later. And Shylee, you may remember from our most recent live Drum Talk TV music trivia game show where we covered music from 1975 and events in music from 1975. That was also the year, only 6 years into his career, that Elton announced during a concert at Madison Square Garden, I can't say it without laughing, that he was going to retire from public performance. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and he's still kicking and doing things today, so anything can happen.
Imagine how different the world would be had he not continued with his live performing, because he's done some amazing events. Just such a crazy. What was he thinking, I wonder, at the time?
Who knows?
I'm 32 and too old to do this.
Oh boy, 1965, going backward in time, the Rolling Stones single I Can't Get No, in parentheses, Satisfaction's the part everybody knows, was released in the US. It had previously only played on pirate radio in the UK for having suggestive lyrics. Yeah. Now you can hear those same suggestive language on kids' cartoons, I think, on Saturday morning.
Yeah, times have changed for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. In 1962, the first Beatles recording session at Abbey Road Studios took place, during which they recorded 4 tracks, including their song Love Me Do. And here's a fun fact about that. Each Beatle earned about £7, or the equivalent of $12 US at the time, for that recording.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you put it in a perspective that like a hamburger probably cost 15 cents at the time, that's still quite an astoundingly low amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, they're the Beatles. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere, even if you're the Beatles, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, they sure worked for it. And I think they made out okay in the long run, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Now we're going to move on to some Drum Talk TV related news. Drum Talk TV Brilliance Ambassadors Program. So how this works, folks, is we do have a free level to our membership site. And I'll show what the membership site is in a moment. But premium members who pay for the membership get some extra perks. And one of them is that they can refer people with a code that's unique to them to sign up and get a $10 reward. But also the people that they're referring get a 15% discount. And I'm going to show how that works right here. Hey, everybody. Dan here from Drum Talk TV and Drum Talk TV Brilliance. Hey, how would you like to make bank by being a premium member of Drum Talk TV Brilliance? It's easy. Like, you're a music fan, right? That's why you joined. How many other music fans do you know, right? So what if they got a discount for joining if you referred them and you got $10 for each one you refer? I mean, you'd pretty much have to be a doofus like this to miss out on something like that, right? Because being fellow music fans, we all know fellow music fans. So go ahead, invite your friends with your own code. We'll tell you how in a minute. But that way you can enjoy things like our live stream concerts, our fan Q&As with big artists, producers, and record executives, our twice-a-month game shows, and other fun things in Drum Talk TV Brilliance with your friends while giving them a discounted invitation, and you make bank. So there you go. So follow the link in this post. If you're not already a premium member, become a premium member. And if you are a premium member, you'll get an email real soon to show how to get your own invite code where you can tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. Tell 20 friends. That's $200. Wait, what? You'd have to be like this to miss out on that. You're not like that, are you? Invite your friends. Let's have some fun together. Healthy escapism away from the nonsense and the drama and the craziness online on social. Join us, Drum Talk TV Brilliance. We're here for the fun of it. Oh, and at any time, you can become a premium member, refer your friends, and make some bank. And if for some crazy reason you're not familiar with our membership site, here's my wife, Enja, to tell you about it.
And now we are inviting everyone to join us in our new membership site for exclusive live streamed concerts, round table Q&As with big artists and not just drummers, all in virtual environments. No goggles required. And so many more experiences. And here's a peek at one of our live stream game shows.
The results. Totally scrambled the leaderboard, right? All right.
Winners can win prizes, and each year we will host a live in-person event with our competition of champions, who at some point has not been moved by music. Oh man, everybody here has seen someone that's walking in their truth. And that's Dan and so many of our fans and artists from all over the world. So join this exclusive community. Come share your brilliance and admire the brilliance of others.
But wait, there's more. Here's Shylee to tell you about something else we have going on in the membership site, which changes a little bit every month.
Yeah, so over at Drum Talk TV Brilliance, we have the Steve Gadd Drumming Challenge running through June 30th. He's played with Al Di Meola, Simon and Garfunkel, Steely Dan, and more. Free members of www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com can send in 2 submissions to the Play Along challenges, and premium members can send in unlimited submissions.
And here's Steven to show you more.
Drum Talk TV Brilliance presents the Steve Gadd Drumming Challenge, running through June 2025. Play along to tracks featuring the man who's played with Al Di Meola, Simon and Garfunkel, Eric Clapton, Peter Gabriel, Steely Dan, and more. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt. Picked from 36 designs, and only shipping in the US. First place will have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. The tracks you play along to must be the officially released versions. They will not get muted or pulled on our platform. Record your videos horizontally. Once done, submit in our membership site, which has a free tier and a premium tier. Free members can send in 2 videos. Premium members can send however many they want. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on accuracy, fan praise, and sound. For the fan praise factor, invite people to comment vote under each video they like. The judging criteria is explained further on the submissions page. Submissions open until June 30th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. Go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com and join the fun!
Yeah, absolutely. And real excited about this. As far as artist Q&As in the membership site, and we do the first 15 minutes live on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Tuesday, this would be for Thursday, June 26th. We have McStein and Miniman, 2 amazing musicians that have been doing some work together on and off tour. They got a new album. They're going to be together in our fan Q&A session where you folks ask the questions, not me. I just put you up, and like Enja showed you in that one video, in a virtual environment. It's a lot of fun. You remain on screen while they give you the answer. Then it's someone else's turn. It's so much fun. So we're making sure we have everything in order for that. And Marco's been on the show, the regular Drum Talk TV show, for interviews more than any other artist. I think the order probably goes Marco, Brian Tichy, then maybe Carmine Apiece, and then everybody else. So I'm excited to get Randy on McStein, that is with Marco, for the first time. There'll be a lot of fun together, and you can ask them anything about their music, their instruments, their gear, their musicality, the music business, what they like to do for fun. Totally up to you. It's your show when we do these things in the membership site.
Awesome. So the next Drum Talk TV Brilliance game show will be on Tuesday, June 24th, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it's a game of majority rules celebrating 50 years of music from 1975. Rather than getting points for choosing the correct answer like in music trivia, you get points by choosing the answer you think most people present in the game will vote for. And you can win prizes from our new and improved prize wheels.
Absolutely. So like Shylee said, it's not a matter of getting an answer right or wrong. It's being in the majority of votes. And the quicker you're in the majority, the more points you get. So you got to be quick. So much fun. You don't have to know anything about anything, having anything to do with anything. Believe me, we've seen our most returning champion win by guessing. So you just never know. And we got some really cool prizes, 6 different categories of prizes, and a prize wheel for each one, 3 rounds. And then the 3 winners face off in a 4th round together. It's a lot of fun. Take a break from all the craziness on the news, social media, and join us for those twice a month. Like Shylee said, the next one also celebrates 50 years of music that came out in 1975, and that's June 24th. This week on Drum Talk TV, I interviewed Ronnie Siago for the second time, this time about his new show, The Ronnie Siago Show. I grilled him about how he came up with that name, by the way, because I just didn't get it at first. And then yesterday I interviewed jazz drummer Tyler Hammond. That was so much fun. Talked about music from all over the world and pointed out some other great musicians that are in some of the video clips that we showed that he's playing with. Highly recommend you go back in the archives on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Vimeo, and check those out. And then last night, Steven interviewed on our other show without me. No, I couldn't be there. On our other show, Yes Shift, he interviewed Andy Graziano, guitarist for John Anderson and the Band Geeks over on Yes Shift. And tomorrow, Saturday, June 7th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'll be interviewing actress and aspiring drummer Nikia Palambi. And on Wednesday, it's not over. There's more. On Wednesday, the 11th, noon Pacific, Jeff Berlin and I will be doing another episode of our Drum Talk TV original series, Rhythm and Lows. That's when we each come to the show with a favorite bass player and drummer duo, and we talk about a certain song, a certain groove, certain passage, and what makes them so special and influential to us. And we ask that you folks watching chime in with your favorites or comment on who we feature on that. So watch for Jeff and I doing that on Wednesday.
Cool.
Next, it'll be a lot of fun. And there's a lot of education and all this fun, wacky stuff that we do as well. Music news, a statement finally from ZZ Top revealed drummer Frank Beard's foot and ankle issues have been resolved, allowing him to therefore be present for the North American dates for their Elevation Tour, which kicked off June 1st and goes all the way up, elevates, we'll say, up through October. I got to catch that. I can't believe I've never seen them live. Like, that's embarrassing.
Well, if it makes you feel better, neither have I. So,
yeah, but we're like 40 years age different.
yeah. All right. Next up in music news, Pink Floyd drummer Nick Mason and his wife Annette will once again host the Middlewick House Open Garden in 2025, about an hour's drive from Malvern in England. Thousands of people can gather in their garden just off the A4 Bath Road in Corsham, where a multi-million-pound sports car collection will also be on display. It takes place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th, and the money raised will go to the Wiltshire and Bath Air Ambulance Charity and the Wiltshire Bobby Van Trust.
That's got to be spectacular to go to. How generous of Nick and his wife to do that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Oh, I have a clip that'll scoot through. Led Zeppelin in the news is always a good day. We talked about John Bonham already, but previously unseen Super 8 footage. Okay, for those of you under 55 years old, Super 8 footage is 8mm film that came out after this camera that's, I don't know if you could even see it, probably not, up behind me, that came out in 1962. That people used to sneak into concerts, shh, don't tell anyone, and take footage. This is of Led Zeppelin performing almost exactly a month before I saw them. This film being from Landover, Maryland on May 28th, 1977. I saw them June 25th in 1977. This was published online to celebrate the concert's anniversary of that day in May. The footage was shot by Bill Wheels Wheeler and published online by Led Zepp Film, who also, that's a YouTube channel, who also synchronized the film to an audience recording of the concert. So I want to show a little bit of that and scoot through it. This is really cool. Another fun fact about this is those of you who may be familiar with the tour and the fashion of Led Zeppelin know that for the lion's share of dates of that tour, Jimmy Page wore his white satin poppy and dragon outfit. For this show, it was the first of only 4 dates where he wore his black dragon outfit, which he debuted in 1975 for the Physical Graffiti Tour 50 years ago. I'll scoot through this, starting with some of the song remains the same. Here's a bit of 10 Years Gone with John Paul Jones on his acoustic triple net, and Jimmy playing a Telecaster guitar, which was put out only for this song, but later used with the Firm and at the Arms Festival. Really great stuff. So go find that on Led Zepp Films on YouTube and watch the whole thing. There's some really great nuggets there. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So Duran Duran is back in Abbey Road Studios cooking up with new music with longtime collaborator Nile Rodgers. This will be their first reunion since 2015 when they released Paper Gods. Rodgers and Duran Duran have worked together on various projects over the course of 40 years, including the band's first Billboard #1 single, The Reflex, in 1984. Duran Duran kicked off their European and UK tour in Finland on June 3rd, just earlier this week, and Rodgers and Chic are guests with them.
I'm real curious to see what comes out of that, being that they're, I think, all older than I am now, so they're all in their 60s, but 10 years after their last effort, I have a feeling it's going to be somewhat musically progressive compared to some previous stuff, I'm guessing. And that's a total guess. I have no inside information on this, but I'm real curious to hear how the music either matured in a way, or maybe it goes way back to their earlier pop new wave roots and kind of brings that back. And what will they look like? You know, like, will they have the fashion of that time, have skinny ties? I'm real curious to see what's going to happen with this.
Yeah, me too. That'll be a really interesting thing to keep an eye out for.
Definitely. And then we've got the Forest Hill Stadium in Queens, New York, has announced its 2025 concert season with acts like Fish, Mumford and Sons, King Gizzard, and the Lizard Wizard, the Black Keys, and more. The season was nearly canceled after the NYPD didn't approve the venue's operational permit for the season, but after a compromise with neighbors and the police, concerts are back on. The venue hosted major concerts in the 60s and 70s, acts like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan. Never heard of any of them, but I'm sure it was a fun time.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got a documentary following Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Noah Kahan, one of my favorite artists right now, and his rise to fame. And the documentary has wrapped filming and is set to be distributed by Creative Artists Agency. The documentary will follow Kahan's journey to music, highlight his roots in Vermont, and how he became a prominent voice for mental health awareness. His 2022 album Stick Season hit #2 on the Billboard 200, with its title track hitting #9 on the Hot 100 before he found himself nominated for a Grammy last year as Best New Artist. He was, of course, passed over for someone else, but he still Grammy nominated. His music has really, I came to love him not long after Stick Season came out in 2022.
Oh,
And, I have just found a lot of comfort in a lot of his music, going through, my own life struggles, moving away from home to go to college. So I just am really happy to see this, and I'm really excited for the documentary to come out.
yeah, that's cool. Those are some good achievements. And I've always loved documentaries, which is since I was a kid, which is a huge part of why Drum Talk TV does documentaries. So that's cool. I definitely want to check that out as well.
Yeah.
Cool. And the Glastonbury, it is festival season, folks. Summer starts in just about a week or so. Glastonbury Festival has announced that its lineup will include the 1975, Neil Young, Rod Stewart, and Olivia Rodrigo on the Pyramid stage, and Loyola Carner, Charlie XCX, and The Prodigy on the other stage. Other prominent names set to appear include Doichi, Gracie Abrams, Noah Kahan. Are these names made up to trip me up? I'm just kidding. Wolf Alice and Busta Rhymes. Wow. Among others, with 56 slots yet to be announced. Wow. That's quite a mix of artists there.
It really is. I'm excited to see what comes out of that. I've never been to the Glastonbury Festival, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drum Talk TV road trip.
Yes. Alrighty. So next up, Peter Murphy, the frontman of former post-punk band Bauhaus, has announced he is canceling his summer tour dates, citing ongoing health issues. Murphy has canceled several tour dates in the past, with a heart attack postponing his 2019 residency at New York's Le Poisson Rouge. For the English speakers out there, that's Redfish. And his 2022 North American tour dates were canceled when he entered a rehabilitation facility. Murphy is deeply saddened by the news, according to a social media post, and hopes that the cancellation will be temporary.
Well, hope he's feeling better. So do you speak French? Is this a new fun fact we didn't know about you?
I took 2 years of French in high school, and I kind of another semester of it in college. So I just kind of try and keep brushed up on it.
Oui, oui. Other than see, I even forgot that. Other than bonjour and comment allez-vous, I only know bad words, and Steve won't let me demonstrate that here. So there we go. That's cool. Learning another language is always good. A lot of people don't even know that English isn't my first language because I disguise my accent. Can you guess what it is?
I cannot, actually.
It's sarcasm. I've told that so many times. I know people out there rolling their eyes.
Fitting shirt for today.
Hey, comment from our producer, Steven, says, Elton had a farewell concert a couple of years ago, broadcast at Disney Plus, but we also talked on here about a new release he worked on as well. Guy can't make up his mind about breakfast or touring or recording. What's up with that?
Yeah.
And then where are we? Oh, you're up with Peter Murphy news.
I just did that.
Oh, I'm just kidding. You're up with more Peter No, I'm kidding. Morten Harket, lead singer of the 80s Norwegian pop band Aha, revealed earlier this week that he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. When asked if he will sing again, he said, quote, "I don't feel like singing, and for me, that's a sign," unquote. Aha's most popular tracks include Take On Me and The Sun Always Shines on TV. Big shout out to our oldest daughter, Sue Denisha, whose favorite song in the world is Take On Me. And that's just a fascinating. Are you familiar with that video, Shylee, where it's basically pencil sketch animation?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I would need to brush up on it. But
it's really cool.
Yeah. That's an iconic song. I actually was introduced to that song when it was covered by a cappella band Pentatonics.
Oh, wow.
I used to be a really big listener of them. So,
oh, wow. I never heard that. I got to check that out. Before we go to the icebreaker, which the wonderful Shylee is going to present to me, and we invite you folks to chime in with your answer to her icebreaker as well. We mentioned earlier the upcoming game show. Shylee mentioned that we got brand new game show wheels. I mentioned there's a few different categories now of prizes. I just want to show those real quick. So here's some of the items you have a chance to win if you win one of the rounds of our game show. We're back.
Yes.
Cool. So join us for the games, folks. Go to www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com. Sign up for an account. Free account if you want. That's fine. We love you. We welcome you. Join us for these games and all these other events. And now, Shylee, what is your icebreaker for today?
My icebreaker is, what song reminds you the most of your childhood?
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
What stage of childhood comes to mind? You know, because when I was like as far back as I can remember,
Mm-hmm.
my mother singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And
Oh.
my earliest memories go back before my sister was born, and we're 3 years apart. So I'm thinking I had to be in my 2-ish year,
Yeah.
I think. So not exactly a popular pop song, but did you know it's the same melody as the ABCs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Yeah.
So I think not counting the ABCs, no, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star had to come before the ABCs for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think when I hear that, I think of my mother and being, a baby, basically.
Yeah.
Other than that, for more advanced,
Mhm.
honestly, I think my parents used to play a lot of stuff that the late great Hal Blaine played drums on. So songs by Neil Diamond, Simon and Garfunkel, and The Fifth Dimension. And my mother loved The Fifth Dimension. So when I hear Up, Up and Away, which is about in my beautiful balloon, that takes me to being 7 years old, shortly after I started playing drums. And my mom had that on the stereo, and anything from that mix of artists I mentioned takes me back to that. But that song in particular, I can hear my mom singing along with it. How about you? And
Oh,
folks,
wow.
chime in. Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, please. Yeah, please chime in. So when I think of my childhood, the first song that comes to mind is Black Horse and the Cherry Tree by KT Tunstall. Growing up in the mid 2000s, it was just a song that my mom listened to, here and there. And I think when I was a young kid, I called it probably like the Yoo-Hoo song or something, because she does that a lot in the song. And so, yeah, when I think of my childhood, that's one of the first songs that comes to my memory.
That's neat, folks. Whether you're watching live or on the archive, we'd love to hear from you on Shylee's great icebreaker. What song reminds you of your childhood? I threw in two. I hope that was okay. The first memory of one, and then the one that resonated for the longest period of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we played a festival a few years ago, we being some other musicians around town, and my wife sung and I played drums, and we played a Fifth Dimension song, and we went back and forth between a couple songs, and now I'm trying to remember what we actually played, if it was either Up, Up and Away or Let the Sun Shine In, or was that not, or is that in? I don't remember, but it stayed with me so much that in my 60s, I still appreciate that music from when I was a kid, which was fun. So cool. That is our June 6th, 2025 Drum Talk TV News Desk Report. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for welcoming Shylee, our intern, who's working with us with her university media studies, crushing it in the background, today with you in the foreground. And thanks for following what we do, folks. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.